12 steps to marketing successfully in a pandemic. What's changed in the last 18 months? What should you be looking at when it comes to your marketing? Well, join me for episode 151 and let's talk about 12 steps to successful marketing in a pandemic. Hey, welcome to the Small Business Made Simple podcast, brought to you by socialmediaandmarketing.com.au. Being in business is never easy, but it can be simple, or at least simpler. Join me, your host Jen Donovan, every week where we focus on marketing, social media, and working towards simplifying your business. You with me? Let's do this.
Gonna dream it big, 'cause someone out there listening. Everyone's got a voice to give, and it's time I heard you whistling, 'cause there's no point at all, in dreaming small.
Why, hey there. Welcome, my fabulous listener. Welcome to episode 151 of the Small Business Made Simple podcast. It's a little bit of a pinch me moment. 151 episodes. Honestly, in January 2019, when I started this podcast, I thought I would run out of content at about episode 20. By the time I threw in a couple of interviews with some amazing people I knew, I thought maybe I'd get to about episode 30. But alas, not, it would appear. Episode 151. Anyway, I'm really glad that you are lending me your ears today. I know you have lots of choices out there, and I really do appreciate you making me one of them. And if you're enjoying this podcast, I would really love you to take a screenshot of you listening and share it on your socials and tag me. How cool would that be? It's really hard doing a podcast week after week. You talk to yourself, you talk to a microphone, and even though I get amazing download and listening numbers, I don't know who you are. So I would really love to get to know you a little bit better as well. Don't forget, you can find all the show notes for this episode at all the W's, social media and marketing.com.au/151. I recently did a webinar on how to grow your business using marketing, and one of the parts of the webinar really resonated with my audience, and it was basically around marketing in a pandemic, what it looks like, how to do it, and what tools you need. So I thought, if you're still doing marketing like you did 12 or 18 months ago, then perhaps you need to step outside that comfort zone and push yourself to market your business and yourself a little bit differently. So being the repurposed queen that I am, I thought I'd throw all 12 points in here into a podcast. So let's do it. Number 1, show up. More than ever, people want to connect with people. So are you showing up? Does your audience know who you are, or do they just know what you sell? Do they know what your brand values are, what your values are, or do they just know your logo and your products and services? Human-to-human marketing was something that I talked about prior to 2020, and it was important then. But now it's not only important, but it's powerful. So how are you showing up consistently for your audience? Maybe do an audit of your socials and your other marketing to have a look at how you're showing up. Number 2, tell stories. Let people into your world. Let people get to know you, trust you, and like you. Share your stories. Maybe stories about how you got to where you are now. The good, the bad, the downright ugly. Maybe it's stories about how you are doing your very best every day, but you're still human, and sometimes life is a bit crappy. Or maybe you share 3 things that your audience doesn't know about you. Just tell stories, whatever those stories might be. Because remember, people often don't remember a product or a service, but they often remember the story that was sold to them because of that product or service, or through the buying process of that product or service. Have a reach out strategy. That's number 3. Are you spending time being social on social media, not just spending time on your own socials? Do you comment, like, share, tag other people's social media? Do you do it in groups? Are you part of a whole heap of Facebook groups and you never go into them, or when you do, you're just going in there to share what it is that you do and to sell what it is that you've got to sell? Or are you giving love and are you leading with value? These are non-negotiables these days and a must do. We have to have a reach out strategy and we have to be social on social media. Number 4, give your audience, customers, clients reassurance that you're still there, that you're still here for them. Many of your clients or customers are feeling very vulnerable at the moment. They're feeling very unsure, and lots of other similar emotions to that. The person that they love and trust, they want to know that you're still there. They want to get to know you. Are you still there for them? When they're ready to buy, or if they can buy from you. I know that some businesses are unable to trade at the moment, but are you still showing up for your audience despite all this and saying, hey, I'm still here? This has enormous power in it. And yes, you might be feeling like you just can't show up anymore, but showing up in difficult times will build rapport, it will build trust, and it won't be quickly forgotten. And I guess we refer back up to point number 1, we just need to show up for our audience. Number 5, we need to get creative. Think outside the box when it comes to your marketing. Stop relying on what you've always done to get a better result. Perhaps it's time to think about marketing strategies that can help you reach new people in new ways, such as being a podcast guest, or perhaps even starting your own podcast. Maybe you need to do some paid marketing. Did you know you should have a marketing budget that is like 10% of your annual turnover? How much are you spending on marketing? Maybe it's time to get some free PR, write some blogs, write some articles, and attempt to get them published. Or it's time for that email list that you've been talking about. Build the email list and go deep into email marketing. And by the way, if you are interested in a PR strategy, go back and listen to episode 14 and then episode 70 of this podcast to learn more about PR from PR Queen, Jules Brooke. Her Handle Your Own PR platform is simply amazing. You can listen to those podcasts, of course, in your favorite podcast app, or you can go to socialmediamarketing.com.au/14 or socialmediamarketing.com.au/70. Number 6, ask questions. Ask your audience some questions. What are they struggling with? How can you help them? What do they need, or what do they want? And remember to listen to the answers, like really listen to the answers. You can ask questions through Instagram stories using the stickers, or you could do polls on Facebook or LinkedIn. You might be really surprised at the answers your audience gives you that can help you strategically build your business. Maybe they're thinking something completely left of field to what you're thinking that can really help you, not necessarily to change your entire strategy, but maybe change the language that you are using to try and get in front of them. Not to mention, polls and things like that are great for engagement as well, which of course the algorithm will love. Number 7, is it time to up your social ante? More people are on social media than ever before. So how are you getting in front of them? How are you engaging with them? Do you need to look into different platforms where your audience is now hanging out that maybe they weren't hanging out 18 months ago before the world changed? Or do you just need to be more consistent when it comes to your social media? Number 8, this is a big one, network. Your network is relative to your net worth. So you need to get outside your industry and outside your comfort zone, and you need to network. Instead of just networking with your own kind, network where your ideal customers are hanging out. Network online or offline, wherever you can in the circumstances at the moment. Since the pandemic, I've actually joined several memberships to help me grow my network because I understand the power of a really great network. Every Friday, I meet with an amazing group of ladies for a virtual lunch. It's through the She's the Boss membership. And these ladies, I tell you, are doing big things, huge things. Just listening to them week after week makes me want to stretch my thinking and stretch myself and step outside my comfort zone even more. I've also joined One Roof. Those ladies are just amazing. They have a great community. And look, I'd have to say they are the pivot queens of the pandemic. I love what they're doing and I love being involved in their community. And I've also joined Tori's Big Rural Ideas, where I get to hang out with other rural ladies smashing their goals and building empires in the bush. All these people light me up. They are truly amazing. And I get to hang out with these people all the time. So all these connections help me grow my business and myself. So what have you done? Where are you networking at the moment? I know that some of you are in lockdown and some of you are in self-isolation and some of you are just finding it really hard at the moment. But network equals your net worth. So get out there, get outside your comfort zone, maybe even get outside your industry and do some networking. Number 9, 4 more to go. Improve your online presence. Take a look at your Google My Business account that you possibly haven't touched for literally ages, or redraft your bio in Instagram, or your story/about you part on Facebook, or your about you page on your website. Maybe update your profile pics, your cover photos, audit the hashtags you've been using for months and months, because are they even working for you? Or perhaps it's time to do some SEO research to help your website improve its ranking for the keywords that you want to be found for. Spend some time doing these things that never quite reach the top of the list. Changing something by like 1% might help fill your funnel or help your lead generation strategy more than 20 other things on your to-do list right now. So what do you need to do to improve your online presence? It mightn't be start a whole new social media presence. It might be just go back and fix the ones you've got and make sure it's still aligned with you, it's still aligned with your ideal client, and it's still aligned with what you want to be famous for. Number 10, deliver amazing customer experiences. Surprise and delight your customers. You don't know the power of surprise and delight until you've tried it. From attracting someone in your world to having them become like a super fan who buy things from you over and over again, what's that experience look like for them? Where can you make improvements in your customer service experience? Again, online, offline, where can these improvements come from? If you underpromise and overdeliver, I promise you, you will build trust with your audience, which will result in a bigger business and more profit for you in the future. Number 11, second last one, improve your strategy. Improve your strategy around testimonials and reviews. How are you using them in your marketing? How are you gathering testimonials and how are you gathering reviews? In fact, do you even have a strategy for gathering and using testimonials and reviews? These are so powerful. Go back and have a listen to Katrina McCarter's episode that I did with her. Episode 121 I did with Katrina McCarter, and we talked a lot about the power of testimonials and the power of reviews. Go back, have a listen to that and work out what's your strategy for gathering these, and then, of course, what's your strategy for using them to help build your business. Number 12, last one, re-examine your ideal customer. Re-examine your offerings and re-examine your pricing strategy. The world we live in today is different. And I certainly know I don't need to tell you that. So what do your clients / your customers need from you that's different, that just wasn't there 18 months ago? Who is your ideal client? Who is your ideal customer? Is it the same person that it was 18 months ago? And what are their needs? What are their wants? What are their roadblocks? What are the challenges that they are actually facing that you can help solve? Knowing who, of course, you are marketing to is fundamental for getting good results in business. So just make sure you are marketing to the person that needs what it is that you sell. Make sure you aren't marketing to someone who's no longer interested in what you're selling, or perhaps it is no longer resonating with the language that you're using in your marketing because it no longer gets their attention. It's no longer the language that they are using. There's lots of things to think about, isn't there? I totally get that. And I hope that maybe this has got you thinking about what marketing in a pandemic can look like or does look like, and how you should be embracing it all, or at least bits and pieces of it. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting the same result, or expecting a different result. Is this you? Are you doing this without even realizing? Are you doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result and wondering why you're not getting the results that you deserve? Is there some out of the 12 that we've talked about today that you really need to embrace and start working on? I'd love you to let me know in the Like-Minded Business Owners group which of the 12 has really struck a chord with you or has just stuck in your mind as you've listened to this. Maybe that's the one you need to take action on first. When I do my presentations, I have a 72-hour rule. At the end of every presentation, it's like, radio, what are you going to do in the next 72 hours? Because if we don't do something in the next 72 hours after listening to a presentation or, going along to a webinar or a workshop, we will never take action. Life is simply too busy. So I'm going to use it here. 72 hours after you've listened to this. What one or possibly two things are you going to work on inside your business that has been mentioned here about, marketing in a pandemic to help you move your business forward? Again, head into the Like-Minded Business Owners group. Let me know. I would love to know which one has resonated with you the most. Or of course, if anything has really struck a chord and you want to book a discovery call with me, you can go to my website at socialmediamarketing.com.au and click the Get in Touch button, and let's do that. But that's all for episode 151. I hope you really enjoyed this podcast. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and maybe share with another superstar business owner who's doing that daily grind, wondering what's going wrong, wondering how they can improve their marketing given all the circumstances of 2020 and 2021. It could be the best thing that you could do for them. I would also love you to leave a rating and a review on the show. If you could, that would mean so much to me. Otherwise, I'll see you next week for episode 152. But in the meantime, are we being social on social? Let's hang out on social media. You'll find me on Instagram at @JenDonovan_, on Facebook, and of course in LinkedIn. But whatever you do, remember, my small business peeps, as my opening song says, there is no point in dreaming small.
No time like the present. Tell it like you feel it, say it proud, be true, and let us see you for the star that you are. No point in dreaming small.
I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, the Yorta Yorta people, on which I record this podcast and conduct my business today, and pay my respects to their elders, past and present. I extend this respect to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here with us today as well.